Today's episode is brought to you by ButcherBox. ButcherBox has got those good meats delivered right to your home. Let's jump to this podcast. Hello, everybody. It's time for Cox and Crendor.
Cox and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studio. Recording. Wake your ass up! It's up next Crendor in the morning! Hello, everybody. We're starting up with Go Cox and Crendor, I guess, in the morning. Woo! I'd redo that one, but I'm not gonna.
That's the spirit.
Yep. Just keep moving forward. That's. We're gonna yes and this entire podcast. Stumble over your words? Hell no. Keep going.
Just keep going. I mean, to be fair, we're on episode 400 and whatever. Like there's probably been
425.
worse.
425 of these.
I guarantee there's been some worse openings. I think there was one you were like, you know.
Yeah, and I didn't like that one either.
Yeah,
I felt bad about that one too.
But you forget about it and you move on.
Oh no, I clearly do not.
Why do you like stay awake at night thinking about it?
Yeah, sad music plays. I'm in the shower with one hand on the wall as cold water drips down my face. I'm like, I messed it up again. I messed it up again. They'll never forgive me.
You know what? There probably is one guy that's like, stupid Jesse Cox, stupid. He messed it up again. There's got to be one.
That guy is me. That's the one.
How you doing? Then you had your birthday. How was your birthday?
It was fine. My birthday was good. I am not. We've talked about this before, and I don't know why. I'm sure it's some psychological thing. I get so awkward when people wish me happy birthday. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if it's just because I'm like, I didn't do anything though. Like I didn't earn your congratulations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what, I just lived long enough to have another birthday. And, so I get real awkward about it, and I'm more of a gift giver than a gift receiver. So when I get things, I'm like, no, what did I do to earn this? I didn't why'd you giving this to me? It's none of those suspicious things. It's just like don't. Like, oh, I don't. You didn't have to. That's just who I am. It's who I've always been. And so I didn't really do anything for my birthday, but like in the office here, all the office kids made me a delicious lunch and cupcakes, and that was very sweet. Although to be honest, it wasn't all of them. It was just Kendra in the office, and everyone else took credit. But whatever, yeah. Group projects. And then
it's like when your mom buys you a present for somebody like grandma, and you're like, wow, you picked this out, Jimmy, and it's literally like your mom got it, and you're like, wow,
exactly. Yeah. My dad and I had a lot of that when I was a kid. We'd go to the store, he's like, no, this will be from you. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But then, after that, I spent most of the time doing a whole bunch of nothing. I streamed a little bit. Usually every year for my birthday, I'll do a stream of something that I don't necessarily want to do. So, in the past, I did Subnautica, and I hated that. That sucked. And for my birthday this year,
the opposite. You do something you want to do.
No. It's something that I have to force myself to do that I know will entertain others. So it's like my gift to people is I'm doing a thing that I know you'll love, but I won't like. And I don't know why that cosmically balances me out, but I feel good at the end of it. I'm like, yeah, all right. Here's to another 365 of not having to go back to this. And so this year I played Blue Mage in Final Fantasy XIV. And Blue Mage is literally like you go around and learn abilities from monsters, and then you use those abilities in like an arena to do specialized one-on-one fights with even tougher things. And it is absolutely like one of those every fight is a gimmick fight kind of things. So, and it's puzzles. So it's like there's a bunch of slimes, and you have to somehow kill the slimes, and the slimes explode. and these 2 towers that shoot electricity. And the gimmick was you had to pull the slimes around the corner to the towers, blow them up, and they'd trigger and then explode the tower, right?
Yeah.
But you had to be in a certain area so you weren't hit by the explosion. It was that kind of thing. And so I've put off doing that since I started playing this game. I have had no interest in doing it. I was like, that sounds too brain hard. I don't want it. And so I was like, fine, I'll do it. And so that was super fun. It was stupid as hell. I can't wait to not have to do it again for another, 365 or whatever the hell. And yeah, that's kind of what I did. The only cute thing is that my parents and I went to a vegan restaurant. And I don't know if they knew it was a vegan restaurant because they were like, we want to take you to this place. And I was like, okay. So I went with them and they ordered, basically it was, I don't know, like 5 o'clock. And so there was a happy hour thing going on. And there was drinks and then they had like tapas. And it was a bunch of small plates. My parents clearly didn't know what they were ordering. So they ordered one of everything. And again, it wasn't a lot of stuff. It was just like the little short menu. But they got one of everything. And they, at the time, I thought liked it. Right? They were eating this one pumpkin seed guacamole dip thing. They were devouring. They were like, whoa, we love this. My mom found something that was like a tostada, but the tostada, instead of meat, had like some sort of watermelon relish thing on it, which I'll be honest, slapped. It was delicious. But it was vegan stuff. They ordered a queso fundido, but the queso was some sort of almond cheese thing. And I realized something changed in them when my mom and dad were eating all the different foods. And I went to go dip into the fake cheese, and my dad, who's definitely on that, like, Jesse, you better stop eating that fake cheese.
Yeah.
You're trying to be on a diet, dude. And I was like, oh no, this isn't cheese. This isn't cheese dip. This is almonds. My dad was like, what? My mom was like, it's not cheese? I was like, no, this is a vegan restaurant. I think they thought maybe it was vegetarian.
Yeah.
But the minute I said vegan, like a switch flipped. I don't know what happened. A switch flipped. And there was an attitude change. And when we got back to my parents' place and we had like a little birthday cake thing with them, my mom looked at me and she goes, I think I'm a carnivore. I was like, wait a minute. Were you guys into the concept of the vegetarian place? But then the minute I told you it was vegan, you were like, not for us. It's like, hold up. What just happened here?
I mean, it's got to be that the bias type thing where as soon as you hear something, you're like, oh, I don't like this because now I know that it's correlated with this thing that I'm like, I don't know. Right? So it's got to.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's what did it, or maybe because they ate a bunch of food, but maybe because it was all like, there was one thing that was like a Caesar salad cup. And imagine if you went to, I'm trying to think of like a P.F. Chang's, like just some generic Asian restaurant where they would do the like chopped up various meats and the things, and then they put it in like a lettuce wrap vibe. It's that, but it was like a little lettuce wrap, but then a Caesar salad thing in it. It was very cute, but also just salad. It was a cup of salad. And they seem to enjoy that. They enjoy like all sorts of different things. But I think maybe because at the end of the day, it wasn't like ultra filling, that maybe they were like, I'm still hungry. Like, I don't know what, I don't want to say it was because I just said it was vegan, but it had all the hints that that's what did it.
Well, have they eaten stuff like that before, like even just vegetarian stuff?
Boy, I would like to say yes, but I thought about it, and I have no evidence that that's the case. I can't remember a time my parents were like, let's go to this vegetarian place, let alone a time my parents were like, love the vegan. Like, I just don't know. Here's the thing. I thought it was fine. I can smash some vegan veggie stuff any day of the week. It does not bother me at all. But I don't know. I have no answers for you. The one thing I do know is my dad apparently loves mocking people who dressed similarly.
Oh, you mean like two people wearing the same thing?
Oh my God, there's this group of, I'm going to say 40-something women dressed to go to an Insync concert. Whoa. And they all look the exact same. All of them. And my dad could not get over it. He was like, I forgot to wear my Insync outfit.
Okay. What?
They had like those, they all had those like big brim hats too.
Yeah.
They like that hipster hat. My dad was like, I forgot mine at home. I was like, okay, Dad, okay.
Now, you say that, but the fact that there's an Insync concert happening is what blows my mind more.
I looked it up on my phone at the moment because my dad kept saying Insync, and I was like, I don't know if that's true. But then one of the girls literally had Insync merch on. So I looked it up, and I guess they're doing like a world tour again or something.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah, and Insync reunion.
Yeah. So
I mean, it makes sense. It's literally the equivalent of like remastering games.
Sure, yeah.
Doing that again.
I was just like, really? Justin Timberlake was like, okay, fine. I'll help you guys make more money. Like, I'm sure they're all great guys, but it's very clearly obvious. One of them became like a bajillionaire, and the other four were like, it's fine. We'll be here.
Yeah.
So,
he's probably just doing it out of nostalgia too. Like, yeah, we'll get the band back together.
Although that's a lie. I know that Lance Bass went on to become the voice of Final Fantasy characters for some time, which was very weird.
That is pretty weird. However, I doubt he's making as much money as Justin Timberlake from doing that.
True. There's only two ways to look at it. Either one, Justin was like, all right, guys, let's do this. Or two, he's like, guys, I'm running out of money. We need to do this. Please save me. There's only two ways to look at it.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Who are the other members?
Here's the problem. I don't remember the difference between Insync and New Kids on the Block. So if I were to even guess besides Lance Bass, I have no answers for you. Someone out there might be like, Jesse, that's actually from New Kids on the Block.
Well, I looked up. There's JC Chazes.
JC Chazé? Yeah.
Let's see, what does he do? He recently partnered with Meow Mix. To be fair, I'd partner with Meow Mix.
Yeah, I'd partner with Meow Mix too. You kidding me?
Musician's been traveling with his girlfriend who recently took a trip to Italy. All right, he's doing all right.
I mean, no, yeah, they all got millions of dollars, right? Let's not pretend.
There's Joey Fatone.
Joey Fatone, yes.
Yeah, he looks pretty much the same, just older and bigger. That's pretty much it. And his hair isn't dyed red anymore. Oh yeah, he's still doing stuff. Yeah, Lance Bass. He launched his Frosted Tips podcast. Yep.
Him and Guy Fieri have launched the Frosted Tips podcast.
To be fair, they would make a great Frosted Tips podcast.
I would listen to that. I'm not even gonna lie. I bet they've got stories.
I mean, yeah, I'd listen to it for like 2 episodes and then never listen again.
I don't know, man. I figure after 2 episodes, they get me hooked.
Hey, but you can only have so many stories for like Frosted Tips.
You say that? But the two of them have led a life.
That's true, maybe. And then Chris Kirkpatrick is the
last one. The one I always forget about.
Yeah, he's the one that probably needs the help the most.
Was he what was his role in? Was he like the baby? You know how they all had like these are the different types. That's the good-looking one, and that's the deep voice one, and that's the one who's silly, right?
He looks like the weird one. There you go. It's him then and now.
Okay, yep.
He's kind of the, just like the alternative, almost weird one. At least like 90s alternative. He served as a judge at a reality lip sync battle event in August. He was a fitting choice for judge because he was a contestant on season 3 of Celebrity Big Brother. And he's got a wife and a son. So yeah, he probably needs the help the most, to be honest.
The only reason why I remember JC Chazé is because of his name. Looking at his face, I don't recognize this man at all. The only people I know are Lance Bass and Joey Fatone, and I think it's because the two of them did like a reality show or something where it was like two goofballs being, maybe they were in a movie together?
Oh, maybe.
I just feel like the two of them stand out on like the tier of Insync. There's Justin Timberlake who did his thing.
Right.
And then beneath the two of them, or beneath him, was the two of them, Lance Bass and Joey Fatone. And then the other two.
Yeah, even like looking back at like some of the old pictures, like here's like an old 90s, early 2000s one, right? They just
Yeah.
You can see all the different vibes there.
You've got the crazy hair of Joey Fatone. He's kind of like the wild, goofy guy, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Lance Bass, and he looks like the sensitive one. Just like a little sweet. And then there's Justin Timberlake, and he's like the heartthrob. But then you have Chris and JC. JC just looks like the other heartthrob. Like, if you don't like the blonde heartthrob, you'll be into the brown-haired heartthrob.
Right.
And then Chris...
He's like the rebellious one of the group, but he's like how every K-pop band has like the person that kind of, they're like the rapper, right? They stand out.
Yes,
every
yes.
K-pop group, they have, it'll be, if it's girls or whatever, they have like the 4 girls and they're just like, here we are. And then there's the one girl, she's like, yeah, I'm the cool rapper girl. Like, that's him.
Yes, it's exactly what it is. All of them, every single one of them are dressed in like this, like, oh, I look so good. And then he is just like the guy who, if
He's
you
wearing
go
like
back
a
to that,
band shirt.
yes,
like an 80s
yes.
band.
If you go back to that analogy of the like K-pop groups, it's 4 women dressed in barely any clothing, doing like sway, sexy dancing, and then one girl shows up and she's in like baggy jeans and like a T-shirt that says like "murder, death," and she starts rapping. Same vibe.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he is. He's the Insync version of that.
Yeah. But also in the one photo you just sent me, he looks either like Be Real from Cypress Hill or the lead singer of Korn. He does not fit the look at all. Whichever one he is.
Right.
But in all the photos, he's in the middle. He's like holding them together.
Yeah.
He's the peanut butter in this sandwich, in this white bread sandwich.
Yeah. Exactly.
I hope he gets the credit he deserves, because I honestly forgot he existed. But looking at all the photos of them together, the man's right in the middle every single time.
He is. He really is the peanut butter. 'Cause, I mean, without him, everybody's just the same. You need that contrast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let me tell you a story I got.
Okay.
Okay, a couple stories. Number 1, I tried Core Power Elite Vanilla.
The 42.
Yeah.
I honestly went to Amazon and I was buying something else, but I saw that it was there, and I don't know how it knows that I was talking about it, because it popped up on my like, hey, you should buy this. I almost bought it just for this show, so I'm very eager to know what you think.
Yeah, I did buy it for this show, but I also need the protein, so I was like, whatever.
Sure.
And it tastes like the lesser ones, but just thicker. Like, it just straight
Gotcha.
up just tastes a little more like powdery. Like, you can tell it's got a little more of the protein something in it. Like, it feels thicker, but it's not in a bad way. But I still prefer the other one, I think. But every once in a while, I mean, I would get it if I'm like, oh, I really need protein today.
It has a 1,400 reviews and 4.5 stars, and all the like. There's some reviews that it's mostly about the packaging and how it arrived or
Right.
whatever. But all the reviews about the taste, it almost sold me on it. People were like, it's so good, dude. It's so, and I was like, that can't be right. It's like, oh, it's so good.
No, it's pretty good.
Delicious.
I mean, it's the two things are it tastes good for being a protein, like pre-workout, post-workout type thing, and it's not as harsh on your digestive system. There's a lot of people that's like, yo, I'm able to drink this, and I can't even drink some of the other stuff.
Yeah. The only reason why to be honest, the only reason why I didn't buy it is because every review was like, that was bad. Was like, I ordered this, and when it arrived, it said the expiration date was last year. I was like, yeah, that sounds like buying anything over Amazon that's edible.
Yeah. Although I bought the one on Amazon, it was like next year. So, I mean, maybe I'm getting the good batches. Maybe they ordered it and
Probably.
they live in like the middle of Montana or something. It's
I
like,
mean,
shit.
no matter what, it's 1,400 reviews on the 42 gram one, and it's, very few were like it's bad.
Yeah.
Most of them were 5 stars. So the ones that were bad were like, I got this from a warehouse that had it since like 1946.
Yeah. No, so I mean, you're always gonna get some people. That's just
Oh yeah.
just what it is. The other thing I wrote down was I was walking past a restaurant and this one lady was sitting outside with I don't know, just some other dude, and they were talking about, I guess, the past.
Just some other dude.
I don't know, he's just some other dude. And she said, I mean, this is all I heard when I walked past them. They said, I wish we could, like, tap into past memories. And the guy said, oh my God.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, the guy was like, oh my God. Like it was groundbreaking.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I wish we could tap into past. I feel like was she talking about past lives? Because you can tap into past memories. It's there. It's possible.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Like, what? I do that every day. Pretty much. Yeah, because I was thinking about that, and I was like, wait, tapping into past memory, that's just like thinking about something that happened in the past. Like, that's literally what it is. So, yeah, I don't know what she was talking about, but the person heard that, and they're like, oh, my God, that's genius. Like, they were blown away. Granted, they were outside drinking, maybe smoking. So, they were feeling it a bit, but still, it was such a weird thing to think about, where I was like, we do this anyway. So, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know that I truly understand what they were saying, but to each their own. I hope they like, you can tap into your past memories. That's how memories work.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what a memory.
that's the whole point. So maybe they will. Maybe they'll figure. Maybe they can't do it. Maybe they just are unable to tap into their past memories, and they're trying to figure it out. Maybe we're the weird ones. Who knows?
You know what? That would make sense to me. I'll be honest. You saying maybe we're the weird ones? Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, maybe. And so that happened. Then, okay, I had the worst runaround with an insurance company that I've had. So back in January, okay, I normally my thing auto pays my car insurance, okay? And I was just like, whatever. But I got a letter in the mail, and it was like, your auto pay didn't go through for some reason. And I was like, okay. So then I look, and it was like 1 day past the thing. So they're like, we're canceling it. So I was like, uh-oh. So then I go, hey, my auto pay didn't pay. Can I like change my card or pay it now? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. And then they tried to do it, and they're like, oh, our system's down. So like, why don't you just, I'll try to run it now. And then it was like taking 10 minutes. And she's like, if you want to just give me your card, I can do it tomorrow. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then she called me the next day, and she's like, hey, I just did it. It went through. You're good. And I was like, cool. Then I look at my credit card statement, and there are 2 charges, one on the day she said it went through, and one on the day before where she said the system was down. And so I was like, hey, I'm getting that. She's like, oh, you know what? It should be fine. It's just like contact your credit card company and tell them that. And I was like, okay. So I contact the credit card company, and they're like, oh yeah, we see that. And I was like, yeah. So like, is that charge going to go away? And they're like, yeah, we'll open a dispute or whatever the shit. And I'm like, okay, cool. Great. So then I'm waiting. It's not going away. And I'm just like, all right. Then I call the credit card company like 3 weeks later. I'm like, the charge didn't go away. And they're like, hey, you know what? We're looking into it. And they're like, all right, we figured it out. And then they send me a check from State Farm. And I'm like, cool. Thanks, State Farm. You did your thing. And then they call me back. And they're like, hey, did you cash that check? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, it says you didn't pay now. And I was like, what? And then they're like, yeah, they refunded the money. And I was like, well, I paid twice. They refunded the one. And they're like, nah. So I had to pay again. And then when I paid again, I had to go back to the credit card company. And I swear to God, I did this like 3 times. And it hit the point where the insurance lady's just like, I am so sorry. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to have our technician guy look into this. We're going to figure this out. And then they sent me another check, and they were like, don't cash that one. And then she was like, you can tear it up. But luckily, I didn't tear it up, because 2 days later, she's like, did you tear up that check? And I was like, no. And she's like, good, you can cash that one. And I was like, okay. And she's like, the tech guy, he figured it out. Everything's good. We should be fine. And so that was it. And it literally took till like 2 weeks ago, from January until like the other week, to get everything fixed.
I am both outraged for you and also being triggered by this entire story. So for years in this office, we had a mailing system. So we went with this company. I'm not even going to promote them at all. We went with this company that does in-office mailing. And what happens is you rent from them one of those postage machines.
Yeah.
And it does everything. Packages, mail, whatever. It does all. And it does auto pricing. It's all in there. And I was like, awesome. That sounds really good. And over the years, we've used it less and less and less and less and less. And so last year, during the summer, I was like, we don't need this anymore. We don't have a contract with you anymore. We're on a month-to-month thing now. So I just want to return this. We're not using this at all. And they're like, sure, of course. So they take it back, and everything's fine. We ship it back to them. Everything seems cool. A month later, I see that $500 has been taken from my bank account, and it's to pay for shipping. I'm like, wait, what? So I call them up, and they're like, oh, the $500 was taken so it could refill your like the money you use when you ship packages, right? Like whatever they call that, the little account they have. And so it's to pay for shipping fees. And I was like, but we don't have an account with you anymore. Why would that happen? They're like, oh, well, on the website, you still have an account. I was like, I closed my account by calling you all, and you sent me a check with the amount of money that was left in my account. And they're like, oh, well, what happened was the auto draw feature noticed that you had $0 in the account, and you have it set to draw $500 to replenish the fact that you have $0 in that account. And I was like, but the account was canceled. And the woman was just like, well, it is open on the website. I'm like, so is the website different from the actual company? And she was like, no, when you canceled with us, you canceled the account. You no longer have service for that rental unit, but your payment for shipping fees did in fact remain open on your account. I'm like, why? Why would it do that? So I go to the thing, and I tell her I would like to close my account. She's like, all right, go to the website, and there's a feature there where it lets you close the account and lets you tell us where to ship you a check for that $500. I'm like, great. So I go through the process, go on there, cancel my account, do that whole thing. It says we're sending you the money. 2 days later, I see a draw for $500 from my bank account. And it is drawn back into there because when they removed the $500, they did so before closing the account.
Oh, my God.
So they closed the account afterwards. So now I gave them money, and now I have no way to get back into the account because they locked it out. So I have to call them up again. I'm like, okay, you guys did this thing and this. They're like, oh my God, sir, that we're so sorry. We'll send you the money. And I was like, I don't even have the money the last time you said you were going to send it to me. So now I'm expecting 2 checks now, 1 or 2 checks. Like how much am I getting from you right now? So I'm already like, just tell me when should I expect this money? Eventually, I don't know, a month, 2 months later, I finally get both checks. I'm like, fine, I never deal with those people again. Dude, for the last 4 months, I'm going to see if I can find this. For the last 4 months, I keep getting emails from them. Giant bold letters. Negative reserve, 45-day letter. Attention, final attempt. This was on 4/22/24. Hello, accounts payable. Your reserve account, ending in number, is carrying a negative balance of $500. Your reserve account meter and or subscription will remain suspended, and you will be unable to download postage until the negative balance is resolved. Please resolve this immediately. If you do not resolve this, we will cancel your account. Your account is negative. This is a final warning. You currently owe $500 to keep your account active. Bro, I don't have an... They've been calling me. They've been sending me like those letters in the mail that are yellow. So it's like, look at this. They have been... Yeah. I literally wrote, I canceled my account last year. I have no idea why you're sending this to me, why you continue to send this to me. I have no use for an account from your company. And they're like, we appreciate your response. In regards to this, please contact the billing department for further assistance. I'm like, oh my God. So they've stopped emailing me, but now I get phone calls that are like, we are interested in resolving the account issue. I'm like, I have no account with you. What do you mean? And the funniest part is they're like, we need $500 from you. Like, no, you don't. I don't have an account with you. I don't owe you a damn thing. Like, what are you talking about? They're like, but sir, if you don't give us the $500, you won't be able to send anything. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't care if I can't send anything.
Dude, I don't know
Madness.
I don't know how these things work. It's insane. It's the amount of tech issues and like runarounds you have to do. I hate it. Let's go back to the days where you had stone tablets. Everyone has a big stone tablet.
You know what's funny is I bet some archaeologists could find you a stone tablet that was like from Mesopotamia, and it'd be like, Urzog the Great promised me 500 shells for my services, but he has yet to pay me. When I went to Urzog the Great, I said, Urzog, where are my shells? And he said, I had Dinkus the Miner deliver them to your home. And like, I saw no such shells, Urzog. I promise you that's a real thing. And some guy would be like, no, dude, nothing changes. It's all the
same. He's right. Nothing changes. So yeah, that was fun. It's a great time. I see that you've also shared that experience.
Yeah, I feel like you aren't truly stuck in a dystopian hellscape until you've really had a multi-month-long conversation with a corporation that obviously doesn't care. And you're just like, guys, this is actually very important. It might not be important to you, but that $500 is very important. Like, I need that money, guys. They're like, sure, we'll get back to you on that. It's like, no. I have had, I'm currently working on a video game project, and I've been trying to send money overseas through a wire transfer, and it has been 2 months, and every time I send it, it gets returned and declined. And I'm like, why? And the bank's like, well, the bank doesn't exist. I'm like, it clearly exists. It's a national bank. Like, it can't not exist. And I've lost $200 in like chargeback fees. And I'm like, guys, I have to pay these people, and I need you to send the money. And so I went to the bank, and literally at the bank, I'm sitting there with the banker, and we're on her computer Google mapping the location of this bank. And she's like, I don't see it anywhere. I don't see where this bank is at. And I realized what the problem was. Because it's a foreign address, they don't understand how foreign addresses work. And so the image she's showing me is like of a forest. She's like, there's no bank here, sir. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to my phone and just type in the address and Google Maps and show you. And it was just a bank and a shopping center, right? Like, it was a clear, obvious, like, it is right next to McDonald's. This is not some fake location. Why can't you make this work? And she was like, okay, let me see what I can do here. So I sat with her as she put in all the information. It was sent, and then it took a day and it was fine. If you were to ask me what the problem was, I couldn't tell you because we did nothing different. I still have no answers, but it went through and worked. I don't want to call anyone stupid, but I feel like along the way, there was a stupid person. Some guy posted on Reddit like a week or two ago where he said the average intelligence score or whatever of people in the United States is 98, which means that with all the very smart people we have, someone's dragging that shit down. Like, there are people so dumb that they're dragging everyone else down, that our average is below 100.
Well, it's probably the people that watch TikToks that are super fake and believe them. Or even worse, the Facebook posts and believe them.
I think we all know those people too, which sucks. Like, I definitely know a few of those people where I'm like, yeah.
It's like, can you believe this? I'm like, no, because it's not real. So I'm not going to believe it.
But even then, I feel like if you have a skill set, like, I don't know, being a person working at a bank, you should know how to work at a bank and be able to, like, input information to send to other banks.
Yeah. I feel like that's...
I don't know.
It's like you can be dumb at a lot of things and be really smart at what you're good at. Like, maybe you're like, oh, I'm bad at math and I'm bad at all these things, but I'm really good at welding, or I'm really good at being a mechanic, or like any shit like that, right? Like,
so honestly, some of the smartest people I know are not smart in like astrophysics, but in just life stuff, right? And I wonder how you fall between all the cracks. Like, you can't do life stuff, you can't do like brainiac stuff. It's just like, well, I just decided not to learn anything. How do you exist? Like, even the dude flipping burgers at McDonald's will eventually figure out the best way to flip a burger.
Right.
But then I also know that there are definitely dudes who've been to McDonald's for 30 years and have not learned a damn thing.
Yes, 100%.
And that is so upsetting to me. Like, how's it possible?
Well, I think they don't want to learn, which is one. Two, it might
what do you fill your brain with? What is up there?
Dude, a lot of sports people are like that. The amount of, because I read all the sports thing. There's some people, I don't know how they function. Like, this one guy called in and he's like, if I was in charge of this team, I'd trade for Patrick Mahomes. And then everyone was like, I mean, why would the Chiefs do that? They wouldn't just trade their star quarterback. And he's like, they gotta pay him money. And they're just like, yeah, but you'd probably just pay him money because he's really good. And he's like, yeah. And it's like, how did you come up with this idea? Like, it's such a dumb idea. It doesn't make any logical sense. And he decided it was such a good idea. He was going to call up a radio show and preach it to the entire world because he's like, now this is something people got to hear. Like, there's plenty of people like that.
I do often wonder, because sometimes if I have something I want to say, I won't say it because I'm like, I don't even want to seem like I'm an idiot. On a show like this, obviously I'll do it because, we got an hour to fill.
Plus, people know what they're listening to. They know we're just like, I don't know what the shit I'm talking about.
But in real life, if I'm in a conversation, 90% of the time I'm quiet. Yeah. I let other people talk, and if I have something to add, like if I'm on someone else's podcast, I will gladly sit there and just shut up if they have something to say. Because I don't want to be that guy who's like, I have thoughts, and they're really stupid, and I don't really know what you're talking about, but I have thoughts. And I feel like most people need to learn to do that. Like, this dude, clearly, he took the time to call up. He took the time to not think. He took the time to say some stupid stuff, and then he was like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. All right, bye, guys. Like, that's so – you wasted everyone's time.
Yeah. No, it is – I think there are a lot of people, they just constantly are talking or just they're not processing. Like, they're talking, they're seeing things, but they don't, like, process it. And then only when something like that happens and someone's like, did you think about this? And they're just like, oh, yeah. Then they process it, and they're like, okay. Like, I know some people like that. I know a few people like that.
That's so sad.
It is sad. It very much is. Not a lot of people like to listen. They like to talk.
We've talked about this before. There's a lot of people who have that kind of way of talking where it's less I'm listening to what you're saying and more I'm waiting for you to stop talking so I can start talking.
Yeah, exactly. It's and you can usually tell because they'll start interrupting what you're saying by being like, yeah, what, or you can tell they're not listening to what you're saying.
I can't tell you how many meetings I've had in this city where that exact thing, like you're trying to explain a project you're working on to some dude who is the key to you getting that project going, and they clearly don't care, but they have to sit there with you for another 12 minutes and like, yeah. And you're like, oh, I should just leave. Why am I? You don't care anymore.
Or you can tell they didn't listen to anything you just said because they'd be like, what's your idea? And you're like, well, I think it'd be really cool if we did this thing. They'd just be like, yeah, okay, so what I'm thinking of doing, like they just completely bypass what you say.
what sucks is there's at least 2 or 3 names that I could drop that only you and I would understand from Maker Studios.
Yeah.
Where immediately we'd be like, oh, that guy. Yep.
Yep. 100%. A lot of people in this industry.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of fun, baby. People often ask me, like, yo, why is Crendor? Why is he, like, kind of in the middle of nowhere? And he doesn't really, like, do... It's like, I feel like he decided to get out while the getting was good. And he was tired of dealing with all this nonsense, because it is a lot of nonsense.
Yeah. No, 100%. I would never want to be around that. I actually found a post on Reddit when I was looking something up about me from 6 months ago, and they said, WoW Crendor is the most reliable WoW tuber out there. And it just shows my leveling series over the decade. But my favorite parts were there's some posts here. Someone said Cox and Crendor animations were the best. And then someone said, they may not be as frequent, but they are still great. And then somebody else said, Crendor is a damn good fella on top of a good content creator. Got to meet him once in person, and my buddy had a fangasm over him, and he played it off and just thanked him. He's good people. And I'm like trying to think back. I'm like, dude, I don't even remember. Like, somebody fangasmed? Like, I don't know. I was like, dude, maybe.
It does happen, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I've had plenty of times people recognize me, but it's I can't remember a time where somebody goes like, oh my god, I love, like losing their mind. So like maybe they just hit it well, and then in their mind they thought they were going crazy. I don't know.
I absolutely have a very similar thing that I saw recently. A amazing artist did a commission for one of my characters in Final Fantasy 14, right? Mm-hmm. And posted it on Reddit, and it's very good. It's really nice art, and I went there during a stream to be like, hey, I want to see what people said about this. This is so cute, and everyone seems to love it. But there was one comment that made me laugh so hard, and it was, I don't watch much of Cox, and never really seen this character of his, but I absolutely buy that this was his character. I was like, what kind of vibe is that? Like, I don't watch him, and I don't know what the hell this is, but I'm convinced it would be something he would like.
That is, I mean, yeah, I can see it.
It's so funny to me that it's like, nope, I have no idea who this person is really, but I am convinced that is absolute, like that is, you know what that is? That's 10 years in the industry, baby. That is. I've earned that rep.
You gotta earn it. You gotta earn that over time.
Hell yeah.
But you know what else you gotta earn? I don't know.
I was about to say, I don't know if you have to earn it, but you can buy it. That's because today we're sponsored by ButcherBox. ButcherBox is the best way to get some incredible deals on premium cuts of meat delivered right to your home. Deals that are hard to come by, better than the grocery store. We're talking the highest quality meat you can get, seafood you can trust, 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork-raised crate-free, wild-caught seafood, humanely raised, no antibiotics, no hormones, none of that stuff. Delivered right to your doorstep, free shipping, as always. And the best part is, they have plans for boxes. Like, you can get, like, pre-made boxes, or you can curate your own sort of custom cool box. Last time, I mentioned this, and I'm doing it again now for my next box, where I want some, like, really quick things or things that I can throw into other things. So a great example is I got a bunch of meatballs last time. And so I made spaghetti, and then I had the meatballs, and it was great. It was super easy. It was very simple. Burgies, love the burgers. I'm on a big chicken kick, as I've expressed before. I'm trying to perfect my own Nando's, at-home Nando's.
Oh my goodness.
I can only get Nando's maybe once a year, once every 2 years. So yeah. I am perfecting Nando's, and because you can buy Nando's sauces at the grocery store now, I'm doing it. It's happening. I am a Nando's master. So I'm very, very pleased with. I eat chicken like a crazy person. I loves it. I loves chicken. So you can get all sorts of great stuff. Pork, whatever your fancy is. And if you don't know what your fancy is, They even have recipe inspirations and guides and tips and various hacks to teach you all sorts of things you can do with the meat you're getting. So sign up right now at butcherbox.com/Cox and get our special deal. ButcherBox is offering you, our listeners, a special deal plus $20 off your first order. Join today using butcherbox.com/Cox and use code Cox to get a very special deal from us. Once again, that's butcherbox.com/Cox to get $20 off your first order and a very special deal. All right, Crendor, let's go to traffic. Guys, Crendor, how's that traffic out there?
Oh boy, we got traffic out there, and boy, is it getting crazy. There's cars, there's planes, there's ships, there's cicadas, there's whales, there's birds, there's a whole bunch of stuff. They're all backed up. You gotta hopefully you're away from the cicadas. That's gonna get loud. So bring your earplugs. But I don't actually know if you're even allowed to put earplugs in if you're driving a car. Probably not, because you gotta hear like ambulances and stuff. So I guess you're just gonna go deaf from the cicadas. Back to you.
Thanks, Crendor. Is it actually happening now? Are you doomed? Is the Midwest doomed?
I believe it's starting very soon if it hasn't already. I think June is what I heard, but let's see. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be June and end of May. So it's ramping up now. We're hitting it. Yeah.
Now I'm going to have to go to the internet.
Yeah.
Cicadas. Is it time? Cicadas 2024. How long will they be around and when will they leave? Oh, wow. There is a lot of cicada articles. Okay, well, you know what? I now have seen something I can't unsee.
Yeah, all right.
The two top articles for cicadas. This is very weird. Okay, from Fox Weather, cicadas. If you can't beat them, eat them. Okay? And then,
all right.
And then next to that, WLNS 6 News has, watch out for this year, cicadas urinate a lot.
Oh.
That's the top two things for me.
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all either.
I do not like that. Yeah, no. No.
That is a weird top two, I'll be honest. That is weird. I don't okay.
Yeah, I mean, watch out for the urinating cicadas. I mean, what are they doing? Like peeing on your house and it's like dripping down? Like, I don't know. Are they hitting you and then they're peeing? Like, what are they doing?
Pee a lot is. Warning, they pee a lot. Like, a lot for a bug or a lot for the planet Earth? Like, this is important information we need to know.
Yeah, plus, like, they can only carry so much, right? Like, it's not like they're a giant or something that's like, I gotta pee. Like, pees all. Which, by the way, when you think about it, if a giant had to pee, that'd be crazy. Like, medieval giants. Think about it.
Oh no, I am now, and I feel like that is an accurate thing of. I mean, you don't even have to think giants; just think dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's true.
What the hell's dinosaur? Like that's blue whales.
Yeah, massive.
I bet you're real thrilled about jumping in the water on the ocean now. Although I guess there's so much water that maybe it dilute, but still, I don't know that I like it.
Yeah, I don't like that either. But that's the traffic.
Okay. Let's go to weather.
Weather time. Here we go. I've got the thing held down on the last episode. We're going to Temecula, California. California?
Yeah?
Temecula, California.
You know what? You can get away with that because I'll never forgive myself for once saying Canada.
Hello, mother.
Hello, father. Here I am in Toronto, Canada.
Somebody was saying, is Whoppy still around? So we got to do a Whoppy thing. Whoppy, hold on, let me... here he is. What? Hold on. Whoppy activated. Temecula, California.
Pardon?
62 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 60. Humidity, 66%. Pressure, 29.96 inches. Visibility, 10 miles. Wind, 11 miles per hour. Sunrise, 5:45 a.m. Sunset, 7:45 p.m. Dew point, 50. UV index, 0. Moon phase, waxing gibbous. 10-day. Monday, 69. Nice. AM clouds. PM sun. Tuesday, 73. Partly cloudy. Wednesday, 72. Partly cloudy. Thursday, 68. Partly cloudy. Friday, 68. Partly cloudy. Saturday, AM clouds. PM sun. Sunday, 68. Partly cloudy. All right, he's good.
Now you know why we don't use him. Poor guy. Poor guy.
Hey, he's been worn down over the years.
Yeah, we bring him out for live shows, and he just never works.
Yeah, it's he doesn't work on the actual show either, but it's just
Yeah, it's true.
Still.
Yeah, but live shows, we got to wheel him in like one of those carts that your teacher would wheel out the old TV in.
Yeah,
Boy.
that's a rough one.
Yeah, that's rough. He's too
Yeah.
big. We have to. That stays backstage. Crendor has to go get him. It's
Yeah, which by the way, live show in a month and a half.
That's right, July 13th in Chicago at Lincoln Hall. Again, reminder: we don't deserve to be at Lincoln Hall, but we will be there on a Saturday night in July. It makes no sense to me either. So that is a thing that will happen, and I don't know the new numbers. We may be sold out now, but I'm still going to say we're very close, and you should definitely go buy tickets
Yes,
and come see us. And Whoppy, and all the other crazy characters we do, like Mr. Skidoo and the Dawn.
Those are my favorites.
Yeah, those are my favorite Cox and Crendor characters as well. Right.
Yeah, Mr. Skidoo from episode 42.
Yeah, that's right. And the Dawn, who we all know is a recurring character on this show.
You don't even have to reference.
Yeah,
where he
everyone
came
knows
from.
the Dawn.
Everyone knows the Dawn. Yeah. We actually have like real like Gray Storm and stuff. You just went with this Mr. Skidoo and the Dawn.
That's right. That's what I did.
Yeah. Cool. That's our live show.
Yep.
Let's see. Where even is Temecula, California?
Temecula?
Or Temecula? Yeah.
Temecula?
Temecula.
Temecula.
Oh, there it is.
I just want to say for the record, so pleased that I just let you get away with that.
Yeah.
Temecula is like south of LA. It's more closer to, I don't know. It's like in between San Diego and LA. I was going to say it's closer to Disneyland, but I don't know if that's true. Maybe we're closer.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. Yo, there's a place called Small Barn Old Town, and it's got a 4.4 out of 5 with 360 reviews. It looks pretty good.
I would say that a lot of places in Temecula probably are, like Temecula has like an old town vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of wineries there. Like a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. Honestly, I don't really know much about. To be honest, living so close to it, I know very little about it. Except for on the radio, they're always like, "Traffic jam in Temecula today. 18 people exploded." You're like, "What the hell?"
Too many. That's where Whoppy goes.
Yeah,
It's gonna explode there.
But I don't really know what Temecula was about. I guess like horses and farms and stuff, but I have no answers for you. I don't expect there to be much in the way of crazy foods there. Never mind, I'm a liar. Moe's Egg House.
Moe's Egg House. Yeah, it reminds me like an
Moe's Egg
old
House.
Southwest town or something.
Yeah, it definitely has that vibe, but Moe's Egg House looks like it slaps.
Actually, a lot of these places look pretty good. I'm looking
This
through.
might be the place when my parents and I drove south one time. Man, where were we going? I can't even remember. We went to a seafood restaurant. No, it wasn't seafood. It was a sausage place. Wow, that's way off. Seafood and sausage are not at all similar.
Yeah.
But it was delicious, and it was one of those places where you could tell nothing had changed in like 60, 80 years. Yeah. That's kind of the vibe of all of Temecula.
Yeah, I see that. It is. Everything looks old, but then all the food and stuff looks modern and fresh, which is why it's crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely like there's a place right now, Campini's Deli, looks delicious. There's all sorts of like interesting places there. This is a dangerous trap for me though because it's just close enough that if I wanted to, I could get there in 2 hours.
Right.
Like I'm looking at this place that they make scones, and I'm like, yo, I could go get a scone, but I don't, and I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I also could just go to Moe's Egg House and lead my best life.
Oh shit! You can go to Vince's Spaghetti Express. Now this is spaghetti.
You know what? I might have to grab the boys and go on a road trip. I just found a place called 8-Bit Brewing Company, and it's a video game themed brewery.
Oh shit!
That is so cute.
Where is
the
that?
logo is like a one of those Pac-Man ghosts, but it's a beer mug. That's very cute. That's very cute.
Yeah, honestly, this place looks really good. This is my kind of town.
Honestly, I think you would enjoy it. It is very much like we're close enough to LA that if you want to go to LA, you can, but we're not even remotely LA.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, there's this weird vibe between kind of like, I don't know, once you get past Anaheim and Irvine until you get to San Diego, there's not a lot there. A lot of like really cozy beach towns.
Right.
But then Temecula is on it's not even near the beach, remotely close to it. It's like over a mountain on the other side. And it is like, yeah, we're also here. We too exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly wineries. It's like it's really known for all the different wineries that are out there. Oh, and apparently according to the internet, it's championship golf courses.
Oh, there's championship golf courses?
That's what it says.
Huh. I mean, I like golf.
But
I don't know if I would golf there.
Old Town Temecula is the thing you were looking at.
Yeah.
Where it's like, welcome to the quaint old town. A district of homemade Italian cuisine and Mexican fare north of the border. A farm-to-table pub dining experience.
I do read
Although
it like
looking at it now, I'm like, okay, I'd go to some of these.
I get you're trying to read it like an old-timey cowboy. It sounded like a dog. Like an animatronic dog.
Ruh-roh. Shaggy, we need to go to Old Town Meat Shop. Ruh-roh.
Oh, jeez. We gotta go.
Yeah, I don't. The biggest problem here is that it's so close. Usually when we look at these places, I'm like, oh my god, that looks so good. Shame I'll never go. Mm-hmm. It's so close I could, and I'll be honest, I don't think it's worth the drive. I'm like, I could go there. I really could.
It seems like it'd be good if you go with like other people for like a day or something.
That's how I feel about most places in LA. Like, there's a little town 2 hours north of the city that is kind of like a Danish town, and the whole idea is it's very Danish, and people will go there for a weekend, and they'll do that whole thing. This has the same vibe, where it's like a weekend trip. Same thing with like Palm Springs. You go out there for a day. You drive out in the middle of the desert, and it's like, we're going to get brunch and like go walk around and look at stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something you do by yourself, because that almost seems like too much effort. Like, you know what? No, I'm going to stay at home.
Yeah, I can see that. That's the weather.
All right, let's go to sports.
Sports. Oh boy, at the sports desk currently, we had the Indiana Pacers beat the New York Knicks in Game 7. Moving on. Knicks are out. They will take on the Boston Celtics. And then the Denver Nuggets currently up on the Minnesota Timberwolves in the third quarter of that game. And the winner of that plays the Dallas Mavericks. Meanwhile, over in the hockey playoffs, we got Panthers Rangers in the the conference finals, and then we have the Stars taking on the Canucks or the Oilers in the other round. So it's going to be one of those four teams winning the Stanley Cup. And then baseball, yeah, it's going. You got the Yankees, you got the Guardians, you got the Mariners all in first place in their divisions, and then you got the Phillies, Brewers, and Dodgers in first place in their divisions. And we're again getting closer to the Olympics.
Yes, the Olympics, the two big stories, and I love that these are two big stories. One, Simone Biles is just killing it right now as usual. She'll be back at the Olympics probably, so that's whatever. But story number two, people are freaking out about the Paris Olympic team, or not team, but like committee, making the beds out of cardboard, and people are saying that it is for anti-sex to prevent the athletes from doing it. But then the Paris 2024 team were like, no, we guarantee our beds are tiny but robust. And I just want to say I love this is a thing people are like, hold on, how dare you? It's amazing. This one from this one article headline says Olympic Games athletes to get 220,000 condoms and anti-sex beds. That is one day ago front page headline. That's hilarious.
We need the anti-sex beds.
We need it. But also, if you guys don't need beds, here are 220,000 condoms. That's so many condoms. That's like a ludicrous number of condoms.
That is an insane amount. So that's the sports.
All right. What is our fact of the day?
Fact of the day. Fact of the day. So we've got the fact of the day, and the fact of the day is that the longest English word without a vowel is rhythms.
I mean, okay. But
Yep.
is rhythms originally English?
I
Do we take credit for that?
Don't know. Rhythms origin. Mid-16th century from French or via Latin from Greek.
So, not really an English word.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I guess.
Although, here's the thing. The French version has an E at the end.
Oh.
So, the English version, maybe that's true. Maybe that's true.
Maybe it's true.
The English were like, and out of all the things to remove an E from, they'll still keep a shop with an E, though.
Yeah.
Got an extra P and an E for that, but like, okay.
So, yeah, there you go.
Who knew? All right.
Yeah, who knew?
Although it is a weird word. I always misspell it.
Yeah, it actually is, because I always think, is it R-Y or R-H-Y? And I think that's what goofs me. And then you're like, it is a weird word to spell.
Yeah, I will put an extra Y in there for no reason every time. I will always spell it R-H-Y-T-H-Y-M.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Every time. And I know that's not how it's spelled because it's a weird word. It's just T-H-M is like something you don't ever think about.
Yeah. I always do R-Y-H-T-H-M.
It's just you know what? What if we just get rid of it? And we spell it the way it should be spelled. R-I-T-H-E-M. Rhythm.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? What if we just spelled it however we wanted?
You know, what if we just did away with the English language? Actually, really funny. I was watching that dude on YouTube who does like cooking history. I don't know his name. I can't remember right now, but he'll do like an episode about like the wagon train going on the Oregon Trail, and he'll be like, "This is what they ate," and then he'd cook it, and then he'd give you like a little history lesson about it. I was watching him, and he was talking about the Canterbury Tales and how, because I was thinking about today. You know how everyone today is like all these kids and their damn skibbities and their weird words and how they're using things. It doesn't mean a damn. I'm like, oh, I hate it, right?
Yeah.
He was talking about how in the 13th and 14th century, English was going through a transformation very similar to that. He wasn't saying it was similar to today, but the way he was describing it seemed very similar. And there was a moment where this dude from the north of England went to the south of England, and it was during this time that the word egg was just starting to be used. And he went down to the south of England. He was trying to get some eggs, and no one knew what he was talking about. And some guy was like, oh, no, you mean eggs. And the only reason why we use eggs now is because in the Canterbury Tales, they use the word egg, I think. Or maybe something like that. Like an egg was, they just decided, and because it became like one of the most successful books at the time, due to the printing press and things, that eventually egg was a thing that spread.
That's so weird.
And we killed the old word for it. Eggs used to have a different name.
Huh.
And I was like, that does sound a lot like what's happening in the world when it comes to the way people use words and what words stick and what words don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And some words.
There was a time where people were like, damn, that's fat. PH fat. And you're like, nah, we're over it.
Yeah, or like Uber. Like, that's uber cool, or that's leet, and like all that stuff. But it's like now everyone says yapping. That's like what I used to say yapping back, like old people, like, yeah, quit your yapping, sonny. And now it's like back, they're like, yo, he's yapping all day. Like it's made the rounds. It's back. Yapping's cool again.
Yeah, language is fascinating. I was just like sitting there watching this dude talk about eggs, and I was like, there was a word before eggs for eggs?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what the hell? We just decided to change it? I can imagine being in that time period, and some punk kid was like, give me 3 eggs, granddad. And I'd be like, eggs? What the hell? Back in my day, we called them Ferguses. You know what
Give me one. How do you want your Ferguses? Scrambled.
Scrambled Ferguses, please. You know, like, damn, kids are just making up words now. And it made me almost appreciate some of the insane shit I see on TikTok that people like. I'm like, what the hell did you just say?
Yeah. It is pretty nice. And that's the fact of the day.
All right. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. I actually have 2 smaller ones.
Okay, I just want to say, I don't know if this is one of them, but all week, people were sending me a photo. I have no actual evidence of an article. They sent me a photo of, like, some bear, like, this bear goes around, bang, he's the father of, like, every bear in the forest. And I was like, whoa!
I did not see that article.
Yeah, I don't, but it was just an image of the article, but no actual article, so I have no idea how, I was like, I looked for it, and I couldn't find it.
Who knows? I mean, that bear may have made it and take it all down.
It was like, you can't do this to me.
I know people. So, first up, we have 706 Kyles gathered in Kyle, Texas to try and beat the Guinness World Record.
Let me ask you an important question.
Yeah.
Do you think Kyle, Texas counts as a Kyle?
That's a good question. I would say no.
You're probably right. I just figured you could probably get away with adding just one.
You probably could. How many people named Kyle can fit in one place? For one Texas city, not enough. I mean, there probably is a point where you'd say it's enough. Another attempt by the city of Kyle, Texas, to break the world record for the largest gathering of people with one name fell short Saturday despite 706 Kyles of all ages turning up at the park in the suburbs of Austin. According to the Guinness World Record, the crown is currently held by a Bosnia town that brought together 2,325 people named Ivan.
That number seems small to me.
Really?
I would imagine there's a lot of Ivans in the area.
I mean, sure. But that seems like a lot of Ivans deciding to go gather at this place in Bosnia.
Well, I mean, what else are Ivans going to do?
I don't know.
Ivans like to gather, dude. That's a known fact. Ivans like to find other Ivans.
Oh, shit, he's right. I've always heard that.
That's people just know you know that.
It's not the first time the Kyles have come gunning for the Ivans. Last year, the official count. What a sentence. Last year, the official count at what has become known as the Gathering of the Kyles clocked in at 1,490. So wait, they lost half their Kyles?
I feel like they were like, we've done enough.
Yeah, they were probably, you know what? I went last the other year. I'm not going again.
It was all right. We're not as cool as the Ivans. Like, the Ivans know how to party. The Kyles, a lot of, like, book reading.
Yeah.
Complaining about the weather.
Yep.
Drinking beer, but, like, only shotgunning it.
I was gonna say only like fancy beers.
Oh, yeah. They're shotgunning like craft-made beer that they brought.
All right, there you go.
I brought this from home.
Maybe that's what it was. They were too busy at home brewing new beer. They forgot.
Oh, I contaminated my entire supply.
Kyle.
We're gonna need a message from a Kyle that's like, guys.
I only do that a couple times a year. Kyle is not a chart topper among popular names in the U.S. According to the Social Security Administration, which annually tracks names, the most recent data showed Kyle ranks 416th among male names. By comparison, Ivan ranked 153rd.
Yeah, again. Ivan seemed. Is that just in the U.S. though?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now imagine that, but overseas.
Oh yeah, that's
especially
like number
in
10.
like Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, no, Ivan's got to be top 10 over there, maybe 20.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I'm
All
getting
right.
an answer.
Yeah, get the answer. We gotta know.
Ivan is the most common name in Bulgaria and Croatia.
Oh, there you go.
It's also the name is common among Slovenia, Russians, Ukrainians, Bulgarians, Belarusians, Macedonians, Serbians, Bosnians, Montenegrins, this whole. I mean, like, it's a popular name.
Yeah. So there you go. The Kyle's lost. But the other story. All right, we got a Florida man, but for once, I think I'm siding with Florida man.
You know what? I've sided with Florida man many times before, so I'm ready for this.
Florida man allegedly hurls pasta at driver during road rage incident.
Well, I need to hear the road rage first before I side on this.
A road rage incident took a saucy turn when a Florida man got fed up with glaring headlights and allegedly resorted to flinging pasta with sauce at another driver, striking him through his open window.
You know what? First off, I immediately understand why you side with him.
Yep.
And second off, the question was the guy in the car with the headlights driving? Because it could be dangerous to throw that at him if he's driving. But if he was parked, I'm all for it. Toss away.
I don't know. Nolan Goins was arrested, 46, with battery after the food fight that took place on Park Street near Bay Pines Boulevard in St. Petersburg around 9 p.m. The road rage incident stemmed from glaring headlights, according to the affidavit. Goins allegedly chucked pasta with sauce through his passenger window, and it hit a man who was driving. He escaped the pasta attack unscathed and without injuries, though probably a bit sauce-stained on his body. Goins was later found with the same food stains on the right sleeve of his shirt. He was taken into custody, but has since been released on a $1,000 bond.
It's the least messed up story we've had from Florida in a while.
It is. It really is.
So that's good.
Yeah. You know, he could have had road rage. He could have had a gun. He could have had like some crazy shit. But you know what? He had pasta. He's like, take this pasta, you headlight bastard, and he just chucked it over there. And he was like, hey, you got sauce on me.
You know what I've realized? That whole like buy pasta, take home pasta thing from Olive Garden really is just providing people with ammo. Like you get pasta and then they give you a whole nother meal to take home. Yeah. That's car ammo right there.
That is car ammo. Especially in Florida. That's where they got to watch out the most. But yeah, I mean, listen, his headlights probably were too bright. That's also a dangerous road thing. Turn your headlights down. Get some better ones that don't hurt other people's eyes. And you should probably also close your windows when you're driving if you're that person.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, like, I imagine he rolled down the window to yell. If they were having an actual argument.
Yeah.
Right?
They probably were. Yeah, he's probably like, roll the window down. He's like, hey, asshole. And then he's like, hey, and then he threw the pasta. If I had to guess how it went down. So, you know what? I don't know. That's the big news story of the day.
All right. Well, that is it for us. Thanks so much for listening or watching. I'm enjoying this podcast. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
We got socials. YouTube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. All one word. That's where you find all these podcasts on the old internet. Also, You go to youtube.com/Cox and Crendor for all the animations that we mentioned earlier. Also, we are on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on SoundCloud. We're a lot of places. Also, you can find us on our main things. YouTube.com Jesse Cox. YouTube.com Crendor. Twitch TV Jesse Cox. Twitch TV Crendor. Twitter Jesse Cox. Twitter Crendor. Facebook Jesse Cox. Facebook Crendor. Instagram Notorious Cox. Instagram Crendor was taken. TikTok Crendor. TikTok Jesse Cox. TikTok Cren Clips Cox Clips. Patreon Crendor. Patreon Jesse Cox.
I realize now that there's too much social media.
There is. There is a lot. I don't like it.
I almost miss the days when you could just say, like, go to jessecox.com.
Yeah.
It's all
Those
there.
were great. Those were good times.
All right, that's it for us. We'll see y'all next time. And as always, to be continued.